Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to the Two Goat Show. We're your hosts, Miriah and Steph. Steph, happy Two Goat Thursday. Good to see you. Good to be back. How you doing?
I'm good. Good to be back for sure. Excited for this week's game. Hopefully it's a dub. You know, just living life.
Yep. Yeah, after last week's game, I think we could all use just go in there and kick their ass this week. Like we all need it. The team needs it. Like get the vibes back up. Let's get this thing turned around and rolling, Steph. Chat, what's up? Happy to go Thursday. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope everybody's healthy, happy, all that good stuff. I was gonna go on to some more H's, but this is a family friendly show at the beginning, so we'll keep it PG for now. But I hope you guys are awesome, besides, the 49ers losing. But hey, Steph, we might be getting back some players. Some important pieces should be coming back. But before, I don't even want to spend, that much time talking about the game last week. I'm just over it. I'm sick of the Rams. I'm sick of their fans. I'm sick of everything that has to do with them. I figured, since we're about the halfway point and obviously, some news that our quarterbacks possibly most likely playing this week might get, a wide receiver back, things, could be turning around, Steph. So we're about at this halfway point. So just give me your thoughts on how you feel, where you feel the 49ers are right now, where they're going, how you feel about the season so far. Whatever thoughts you want to give us about how you're feeling about the team at this halfway point, Steph.
Yeah, I think the defense has been depleted by injuries, and I think the fact they didn't address that at the deadline, although they did bring in some guys, Keon White and Clinton Farrell. I think what you have is basically where you're just going to have to make do with it the rest of the season. Same goes with the linebacking group. Tatum Bethune has been pretty good, but it's leaving much to be desired when you compare it to what the situation was with Fred Warner, of course, right? So this defense as a whole just needs some help. And now I think the offense is finally at a point where they could, support this defense. And by that, I mean, they're just going to need to score points and carry this team going forward. So the return of Brock Purdy, and it seems like that is pretty much official. I mean, Kyle Shanahan mentioned it talking to Mayoko, and then also on KNBR, it sounds like he mentioned it. So he's going to be starting on Sunday, making his return. Still up in the air, I guess, for Ricky Pearsall, but it sounds like, based on everything we've heard and him practicing, and it feels like he's going to be back as well. So both of those guys being back, no excuses for the offense anymore. You need to get off to hot starts. I don't want any excuses. They need to get points up, and they need to carry this defense, because the defense is definitely going to need some help. Now, in the games in which the defense plays poorly, you can kind of see it right when the game starts. It's going to be one of those games. And it did feel that way against the Rams. And so even they need to get off to a hotter start in these games and mentally just go into it like they know that there's a game happening, right? And be focused right out of the gate. I think in this game against the Cardinals, this is a winnable game, so you have to win it. The game against the Texans is not one I felt like the 49ers should have lost, even with as good as a defense as the Texans defense is. I still feel like the 49ers should have won that one. And so you need to be able to win the games that are winnable. And so the next 4 games for the 49ers, I would say, are winnable. And you win those 4, you're in playoff discussions once again, right? So I think that's what they need to focus on, is not this win one game and then lose the next one, which they've been doing for several weeks now. They need to focus on winning each and every game. So I think that's going to fall mostly on the offense, just getting back to their football, their brand of football now with Brock Purdy coming back and, you know, Kittle having come back a few weeks
Mhm.
ago and finally get his feet under him. Last week with 9 catches and a touchdown, and then you're getting Ricky Pearsall back. That's gonna help this offense quite a bit because, as John Lynch said on KNBR this morning, he brings you something different. Like he's different, more talented than the other wide receivers that they have on this roster.
Obviously.
Yeah, like that's obvious. Right? Like he be right. You got him in the first round, but I feel like some people forgot just how good and important he is to this team. And so we're gonna see that. I wonder if he's gonna be a little maybe rusty on Sunday, or
Mhm.
just maybe needs to get into game shape, just like George Kittle. It took him a couple games to kind of get his feet under him as well. So maybe we see that from Pearsall, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he came out hot out of the gate too, because he looked pretty good in practice from the clips that I saw.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully, since Kittle like does have a few years on Ricky, so maybe that takes a little bit more time to get your body going. Ricky P, like you're a young buck, get in there. Like,
Yeah.
and like it's crazy that we're talking about now that yeah, Brock's probably back, and we're still questioning if Ricky's back. Like yesterday at this time, like I was more confident that okay, Ricky's playing for sure, and still questioning like Brock, like because from all reports, like it sounds like Ricky's looking good. So hopefully, if he does, hopefully when he comes back, you know, he can take off right where he left off. Um, I why won't this go off of here? What the hell? Freaking I eat meat.
I
Um
blocked them.
yeah, it's like I saw you was on your channel, so I don't know if that was one of your people or what the hell going on
No,
there.
no.
Um So yeah, I don't know. Like there's been this season has been such a crazy ride of emotions, like up until this point. Like one week, like I swear we're riding so high, and it's like, okay, like they went in there, they gave us a great win, like maybe we're gonna turn this shit around, we're gonna go on a winning streak, and then next week they go in there and drop a dud. And it's just like, fuck, we suck. Our defense is ass, like, and then the next week they go in there and kick ass again. So it's like every week we're just up and down, literally. And it's just like, please, like, let this be the turning point. Obviously, we could all, we know that quarterback hasn't been the problem, right? But, it's time for our guy to take back over. And with him also comes now we're getting weapons back. And so hopefully this team can start, like you said, Kittle's been back a couple weeks now, like looking like his just old self. I swear, like the guy doesn't even look like he's slowing down once he gets the ball in his hands. It's just like Kittle's back out there. Um, I hope Steph's like I'm tired of this up and down. Can we like at least put 2 game like win streak together? Can we start there? Can we get a little bit of a win streak going? Um, Now's the perfect time to do it. Like we got very very winnable games coming up. So now's the time to take on the charge, guys. Steph, I'm gonna read off a player's name. I have a list of few players here. When I read off their name, remember halfway point of the season. Um, Tell us if this player has lived up to your expectations. If they haven't, how you think this player is doing up until this point. All right.
Yeah.
Let's start with D Winters.
It started off as him exceeding my expectations, and then it's tapered off. I do understand he's dealing with an injury right now, so it some of that could be limiting him, and he maybe not as quick as he wants to be. I don't know, but that could be an issue. And then obviously losing Fred Warner is almost like the equivalent of losing Trent Williams on the offensive line. And what I mean by that is just he's kind of the glue that holds everything together, especially the things directly next to him.
Yeah.
You know, so naturally, I think D Winters is going to find himself having a harder time without Fred Warner, who does so much in terms of communication, in terms of just how much ground he can cover on the field, coverage, on tight ends. That's his strong suit, right? And so I think that's all hurting D Winters right now. And yeah, now it's getting to like the somewhat disappointing side. I'm gonna give him some time to see like when this knee or knees injury, two knees
Yeah, crazy.
apparently,
I know.
plural, when that maybe subsides at some point, seeing if it improves. But if it doesn't, then yeah, I mean, I'm gonna feel like it's more of a Fred Warner thing, and that kind of stunting the growth of some of these other guys. But yeah, right now I would say it. I'm on the lower end of expectations now with D Winters.
Yep, I completely agree. Trent Williams.
I mean, I would say it's about what I expected, especially the slow start. He had
Yeah.
he had a slow start of the season, but he barely participated in training camp, even when the days that he did practice. Um, so it took him some time to really get going. First few weeks, feel like he gave up a lot of pressures. But I feel like he got more comfortable or he has gotten more comfortable as the season has gone on. And for someone who's what is 37, right? For someone who's at his age, I think this is about the season I would expect him to be. I mean, he's still a physical freak, right? Like as
Yeah.
far as what he's able to do out there. So yeah, I would say it's on par with my expectations.
Now there is a there once we get to the end of the list, there is a reason I obviously selected these players to ask her about. Diamador Lenore.
It's been, I think, a little disappointing. And that's to say that I don't watch like every snap of his to know specifically what he's responsible for,
Right.
or what his mistakes are. But I do feel like he had a better time as a nickel than he's having so far as an outside corner, and a lot of that also has to do with the penalties. Like, just a lot, and some of those actually have been like kind of finicky, like questionable
Yeah.
calls, but some, he has committed. So yeah, I think especially him coming off getting a big deal, I I was expecting a little more from him.
Do you think the loss of Charvarius Ward and him becoming the number one guy has played a role into that?
No, because I think Mooney Ward didn't play every game last season, and we still saw a strong season from Lenore. I think it mostly has to do with him moving to the outside, and I yeah, I think maybe he just excelled more at the slot position.
It's fair. Hey, Sin, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Um, Jawan Jennings
Disappointment.
wasted no damn time with that one.
Disappointment.
Another one that talks too much and wants too much, and yeah, like the whole like the thing that I think is rubbing the fans really the wrong way is like you acted like, oh, I'm the guy, I need more money,
Right.
like yada yada yada, and
The math ain't mathin'. It's not
yeah,
like
like like this been your worst season since, and you've like spent the entire off season trying to convince everybody how great you are, like you should have been freaking in the gym or fucking out on the field or something instead of running your mouth so damn much. Like holy shit. Um, CMC.
um I don't, I'm not sure what my expectations were for McCaffrey this season. I feel like I was kind of open to a lot of different scenarios. One even including he'd get hurt again, which he hasn't. So in that regard, like he's
Yeah.
exceeded my expectations there. The fact that he's gone this long staying healthy, and I'll knock on wood to that.
With
But
literally everybody else around him hurt.
yeah, yeah, like which is why there's the joke that he's like harvesting everyone
Yeah.
else's health. Um, but yeah, I think he's gotten off to a slower start in the run game, but I do think a lot of that had to do with the run blocking being what it was early in the season. And since it's improved, you see him like getting these lanes and what he's able to do with them. And not just that, like, we know that McCaffrey has an impact in all facets, wherever he's needed. Like, the fact that the 49ers were missing one wide receiver or the other, at like what has felt like all year, right? Um,
Yeah.
and for McCaffrey to essentially step in as a wide receiver much of these games and excel as such, I think that has exceeded my expectations too. Just like maybe like the role that he's had, and he's always done these things well, but just the fact that he's been called on to do this more and step up in that department, and he's delivered. I would say I'm not that I'm surprised. It's just that, yeah, this is not the kind of season that I think I was expecting him to have, where it's like it feels very split, right? He's been more productive as a pass catcher than a running back so far.
Yeah, I kind of wish that we would just like start using him more like as a pass catcher and like open up the running back duties to the other running backs that we have on the team, like can we see them do something because like they're like are looking better and better too, the same with the O line, that's getting better. All running backs are looking better so like I would just love to see CMC just be more of a pass catcher. Like, that's not saying no, don't let him run the ball at all, but he doesn't need to run it 25 fucking times, when we have other running backs on the team, is all I'm saying. Especially since he's doing so well, like, as a pass catcher, like, extremely well. Um, Juice.
I don't think about the fullback, so I wouldn't say I had any
Kyle said
expectations.
you better think of him like a tight end, all right?
I don't
He
know.
just said that yesterday.
I'm neutral.
He said, you better treat him as a tight end, Steph. It's not a freaking fullback. Tatum Bethune.
Exceeded. Yeah.
I agree. Renardo Green.
Um, it's been up and down. Like, I feel like early in the season was, somewhat of a disappointment for him, but he was getting targeted a lot, and I feel like he's gotten better, in recent weeks. Um, but in the grand scheme of things, I do feel like I was expecting a bigger second year from him. So I'll go and lean slightly as a disappointment, but I think there's still room for him to turn the season around.
Yeah, I agree. I as well was expecting, and I feel like it's like a pattern almost. Like, um, Jair Brown had a great first season, and then we all go into second year thinking, oh, he's going to be great, and it's like a disappointment. Like Renardo Green. Who was I thinking of earlier? I don't know. There was another young player earlier that I was thinking of too that had a great season and was kind of been a disappointment when I was making this list, but I didn't put him on the list. If I think of it, maybe I don't know Mustafa kind of, but he's the next person. But I just want you to group Mustafa, Jair Brown, the entire whole safety freaking crew. Talk to me about them stuff.
Uh, my expectations were not good on the safety group, which is why I thought that they should have addressed it a little bit better. I wanted them to get a veteran in free agency. I don't know if you remember this. The safety group worried me.
Yeah.
The depth, especially early in the season or in the off season, they had some injuries there, and they still didn't address it. So I was like, okay, like they must feel really good about Malik Mustafa. I mean, not Malik Mustafa. Marquez Siegel. They must feel really good about Siegel. If they feel good about him starting in week 1, and I mean, I think there's some good things about Siegel's game. I think ultimately he's going to round out into being a good player, but the coverage thing, like, that's not his thing. That's the other thing with the safety group that I have an issue with. Their skill sets overlap so much. Like, and even when they had Hufunga, they're all like downhill guys. Like, none of them are like true coverage safeties, right?
Yeah.
So you're finding these guys as your last line of defense, and sometimes when things are targeted in their area, they're like nowhere to be found, or they're not playing the ball very well. So they're lacking in that. So I would say it's met my expectations, because my expectations were not very high to begin with.
Fair, fair. Um, okay, so yeah, I had brought up these names because every day I swear that I open social media, like the faithful are going crazy. Whether
What
it's
else is
like
new?
extremely high on these players or extremely low on these players, these group of names like are just everywhere. So I just thought, it would be cool just to get your thoughts on it, see where your thoughts are compared to where the faithful's thoughts are, because some can take shit to the extreme sometimes. And it's like, especially for safeties, quarterbacks, like they could have a great game. They make one bad play, and that's all you're gonna see on social media is, oh, their ass, they gave up this, especially if it's a touchdown. God forbid they gave out a touchdown. They could have been shut down the rest of the game. But you give up touchdown, like their ass, like get them off the team. They want to, like, and like the safeties like have been getting dragged through the freaking mud. Diameter Lenore, Green, like they've all been. And the thing too, Steph, is that in every defensive player that plays safety or quarterback will tell you that when they have a pass rush, it makes their job a hell of a lot easier, right? Um, Guess what? We don't have no fucking pass rush, Steph. Like we
Right.
have
Yeah.
literally nothing. So like when a guy has to cover somebody for freaking 5, 6, 7, 13 seconds, like it's a little hard to be locked down when you have to cover them that long. When compared to when you have a Nick Bosa getting home or a Huff getting home in freaking 2 seconds, and we only got the back end only has to cover their freaking wide receivers for 2 seconds. It's a lot easier to be shut down.
Right.
So it's like a bunch of things, obviously, and like you said, well, even when you're talking about the corners, like we don't know what they're supposed to be doing on every single play, nor are we watching them on every single play when the ball's not going their direction, right? So um, it's kind of hard to judge them like that, but some of it's warranted. I think some of them. I noticed like the select group that obviously they just drag the same players over and over and over. Like they could go out there and be the best player on the field. They're gonna find some way to drag them through the mud just because that's what they're pushing right now. So
Yeah. It fits the
um,
narrative.
exactly. Now Sin had brought this up because Bebop had said that he was kind of disappointed that they didn't get Sauce Garner or, obviously somebody at
Hmm.
the trade deadline. So Sin said, follow up on Bebop's comments. Do you think the 49ers surrendered by not making a trade by the deadline? What are your thoughts?
I don't know if I feel like they surrendered. I think there are a lot of factors that play into it, and I think one of them was the fact that they weren't wanting to give up as much as these teams wanted. I mean, for Jermaine Johnson, the Jets wanted a second. Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with the 49ers not having done that. And I'm also okay because if you look at how many picks the 49ers have for the 2026 draft, it's not that much. It's really not. They have a lot of fourths, but that's about it. They don't have a fifth, um, sixth or seventh, I think. So I mean, it's not great. And so if you are going to give up another pick from a very limited amount of picks that you have, I mean, you have to feel without a doubt that it's going to be worth it and that it's going to pay dividends. And I think also, when you look at this roster, I think we know that it's not we know this roster isn't one defensive player away from a Super
Right.
Bowl. Like we know that. I think in my mind, like I wanted them to make a move. One, just because I'm a fan and like it's exciting when they make a move at the deadline. Selfishly, but also I think that maybe it could help in making a stop, because sometimes like in a game, like that's all you need. You just need one player who can make like a game changing
Yeah.
play, one stop, so I don't know. but I think they know that with the defense being what it is, if the defense actually plays well that day, they could actually beat some teams, right? Like,
Yeah.
and when we're looking at these next 4 games, this defense, when it's playing well, could beat all of these teams. I feel like there's a few examples of this defense playing well, like against the Giants, against the Falcons, like, and they surprised us, right? So I think they have that in them. So I'm not too surprised that the 49ers looked at it and said, we can do enough, with what we have. We know we're not a Super Bowl team, but we do want to make sure that we have a foundation and that we could build off of this foundation next year with the amount of picks that we have. So I think that was important too. Just keep it next year in mind too.
Yeah. And with this sauce thing, like if the 49ers were to give up 2 firsts for anybody, the faithful would have lost their minds for that too. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it would have been, as always, you would have had both extremes. There would have been people who like love it, and there are people who would have been like, "It's
maybe
awful."
for a
Fire
defensive
John Lynch.
but for
Yeah,
a cornerback, like I can't, like I just can't see it. If cornerback was our only need,
yeah,
and that's where I'm at too. Now, say we didn't have any of these injuries, and Nick Bosa would have been the only player that we would have lost. We saw Fred Warner, we had all the rest of our guys, the rest of the D line, and we just needed that one game changing guy that, like you said, that comes in there, wreaks havoc, that makes plays when he needs to make plays. Then I'm okay with the 49ers going out and making this big ass trade at the trade deadline to get a D end in there, right? Because now you are just that one player away. Like, but
yeah,
once you have this player go down, this player go down, like you can't replace all of those guys. Like, so why are you going to go out and give up your future to trade for a guy that ain't gonna make a difference anyways? Like,
yeah, exactly.
like why are we giving up our future picks that we can use to hopefully make the team better next year? When our guys are back healthy and we have a better shot. Like, and I'm not saying just give up on the season because our guys are hurt, but like you roll with who's there. Like, you don't go out and spend and give up your entire future for players that you ain't gonna make it to the Super Bowl anyways. Like, let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah,
you know, especially with the way some of these other teams are playing. Like, come on. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm okay. Like, obviously, like Steph said, like, you want them, right? You want them. You want your team to be the team getting all these fancy players, like the Eagles continue to get fancy player, big name player. This guy, players, needs, filling up all these, like, making all these fucking moves. Like, they never stop. And it's just like, how? How do you guys keep getting all these guys? Like you want your team doing that, like filling up all your needs and shit, but like you don't want them to be stupid either. Like so many teams, like, go out and trade for guys and then they spend all these picks and the guy comes to their team and just total fucking ass, and now you gave up all these picks for what?
right.
So I'm okay with it. Because like I'm not thinking that we're winning the Super Bowl this year, you guys. I'm not like like I'm being honest. I'm not thinking we're winning the Super Bowl this year. So like please don't go out and like make us stop us from having chances to win it next year and the following year, like we need to get this team better. And I think it was, who was it? Somebody had said do y'all think this is our rebuild year? What's up, Bobby? I don't think this started out obviously as a rebuild year, but like we just talked about, once you lose a Nick Bosa and you lose a Fred Warner and you lose, it just becomes like they're just trying to like keep their head afloat and put something together and try to be competitive. Like I don't think they're looking at it and saying, "Oh, you guys, this is a rebuild year." And I honestly don't think it went into that. Like I don't think they went into this season. Like I think they went into the season thinking they were going to be competitive. Like you just
Yeah,
paid Brock Purdy all this money. Like you just re-signed Fred, extended free Fred Warner, extended George Kittle. Like, you're not spending all this money thinking that this is a rebuild year. I don't think that.
Yeah, and they would have been competitive, and let's just say no one got hurt. Like, Bosa's out there still, Fred's out there. What we would be talking about this team, it would be potentially Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah,
even with all the injuries, we're still saying, hey, like, you win the next four, you're at 10 wins and you can sneak into the
yeah.
playoffs. Imagine how many more wins it could have been in these last few weeks with those guys on the field. I mean, that would have been a different story,
Hmm.
right? But yeah, you're not fighting for much this time. It's just like whatever you could get out of this year feels like a bonus. And, honestly, this team has surprised us with that so far. So let's just see if this team could surprise us again. I think at this point it's just if they can, great. If not, okay, we'll look towards next year.
Exactly. And yeah, like, why raise draft picks when they'll be in the hunt, or when they're being hurt in 2 weeks? Like, you're giving up two firsts for Deion Sanders, not for Sauce Gardner. Like I'm with all of you guys on this completely. So yeah. All right, let's look forward. Well, let's talk obviously about, we haven't even talked about Brock Purdy. You had just said, Kyle said today that what were his words? He's most likely going to start. It's
No,
looking
he
good. He's
said
going to
he's
start. He's
starting. He's
starting.
he's starting, and Ricky Pearsall is too.
All right. So we get Slick Rick
The
back,
back.
Brock Purdy back. There were some big names, obviously, that spoke this week, Steph. Who? Tom Brady, Richard Sherman, Dan Orlovsky. I don't know if you think he's a big name, but he's out there. All under the, all talking about the same, that you stay with the hot hand in Mac Jones. You don't turn it over to Brock Purdy. Obviously, Tom Brady, we know, if you know anything about Tom Brady, you know why he's saying that, because New England stayed with the hot hand, and that's how he's continued to have a job, or else, who knows where he would be. And, Richard Sherman also, I know he's respected in the faithful right now, also said, he thinks they should stay with the hot hand. Kyle, John, they're not feeling so much that way, Steph. Obviously, both have made it clear all the way up until from the time Brock got hurt until today, have made it clear that this is Brock Purdy's team. When he's healthy and able to take over, he's taking over. Do you think, Steph, that this is the right move? And I think a lot has been talked about of how, like, the differences, and like how Mac makes this team better. Why don't you talk to us in your answer and let us know, are there any advantages? Like, do you think there's advantages to having Brock Purdy start over Mac?
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy is looking to push the ball downfield more than Mac has in the times that he has started. I think Mac is playing a very safe sort of football right now, and safe is good if you're the backup, like. And I think that's why we've appreciated it so much, and why we're like, oh, like, he doesn't turn the ball over, and he has a couple times, but it's like, I think he's just wanting to be careful with it. There has been times where he's had opportunities at deep shots, and, he elects not to take them. And I think a lot of that just has to do with him wanting to be safe with the ball, and be safe in how he's operating this offense, which gives him a high floor, and so I think the Brock thing, he's a little more mobile, but I also argue that, Mac Jones, what he's doing is getting the ball out so quickly. It doesn't matter that he isn't, or hasn't mattered that he's not very mobile. So he's helped himself out in that regard. I think, I don't know. There's just something about Brock that he does have when he's out there that makes you feel like he could do more than what Mac is bringing you. Again, I wanting to push the ball downfield as long as he takes care of the football. I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing for Brock, in the last year, and even, week 4, like, he hasn't taken care of the football as much as he did in 2023, and as much as we would like. So I feel like that's one aspect that could get better. But if he gets back to, being a little safer with the ball himself, I'm fine with Purdy playing. And here's the thing, like, if we feel like Mac is playing similarly to Brock, hey, that's great. Like, there wasn't that big of a drop off from your backup to your starter. But guess what? One of them is getting paid to start. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, of course, when Brock Purdy is healthy, he's going to be the one that takes over as the starter. I just feel like that's the one thing that, people weren't considering, the national media is not considering when they say there's a quarterback controversy. If both things were equal and they were getting paid about the same amount or something like that, like, maybe it's a different conversation and you just roll with who you have out there because you don't want to
Hmm.
change too much. What people call the hot hand, right? I feel like this is all getting weird because, like, Mac is playing well. He is. But he's not playing that much
Right.
or not that much better than what Brock Purdy was. If he, like, just came out and blew Brock out of the water and it was exponentially better, then we have a conversation. Like, then
Yeah.
it's real. You could maybe make that case. And even then, like, you might still go back to the guy you're paying so much more money. But, it's not that. It's just that Brock, I mean, there was no drop off, and that's fine and that's great. Yeah, I've appreciated that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely not really enough to warrant Mac Jones continuing to start over Brock Purdy.
Yeah. And if this was a situation to where Brock Purdy was our vet, he'd been our starter, and the 49ers drafted Mac Jones in the first round this past draft, and now he came in and started for the injured Brock, and now you're rolling with the hot hand, that makes more sense. Like, you're rolling with the guy that you drafted to be your future, who's now come in and is looking better or as up to the guy that you obviously drafted him to replace eventually. So yeah, you continue to roll with him. Like, that's your future. But that ain't the case. Like, we brought in Mac to be a backup. Like, and as
Hmm.
well as he's playing, thank goodness. Like, he's kept
Yeah.
us afloat, like, that's what you want from your backup. Like, you couldn't ask anything more from what Mac Jones, like, than what he's done, and I appreciate it. But like, at the end of the day, whether we like him or not, no matter how we feel personally about Brock Purdy, this is Brock Purdy's team. Like, they just paid him to be the quarterback of this team. Literally, just paid him.
Yeah.
You're not gonna fucking ride him on the bench the season that you freaking paid him. Like, you know how crazy people talk about Kyle and John for spending 2 draft fucking first round, 3, whatever you want to fucking call it, on Trey Lance and not giving him the time, not developing him, like all that. Like, you know how much more crazy they'll talk about him if they paid this fucking quarterback and now sit him on the bench. Like, that's fireable. Like, you get fired for that shit. And people just act like, oh, no big deal. Just, yeah. Like,
Right.
what are
Is
we talking about?
that's what I'm saying. Like, the national media, the talking heads don't take that into account. Like, they're just, I don't know, because they're not there thinking about roster politics. They're not thinking about, making business decisions for the
Yeah.
team. I mean, they're just thinking about what's happening on the field. But there's just so much more other context that needs to be considered. And I think that's what the 49ers are doing here.
Yeah. It's easy for them and us to all make these decisions when our job and our future and our livelihood ain't tied to it. Like, it's so simple for us to make the decisions, but like, come on. I just think it's kind of crazy. But like, hey, I mean, time will tell, right? Like, let Brock come in here, see what he does. He got his wide receiver back. Like, no excuses, right? Get in there and take over. Like, it's your team, do it. Um, let's talk about Brandon Ayuk. Obviously, John Lynch asked about him again every week. They asked him kind of about if John Lynch thinks that this is like a red shirt season for BA, and if, like, pretty much, like, asking him, like, are we going to see him on the field, or are you guys are just planning to keep him out the rest of the season? Like,
Hmm.
And John Lynch said, that's not the intention. The intention is to get Brandon back. We're not there yet. So we'll continue to have him excel with his rehab. We just have to get him to a place where we are comfortable to open the window and see if he can make it back on the field. I feel like a lot of people expect, like, I understand fans are tired of hearing about it. Like, I'm to the point too. Like, do we need to ask every single week? Just let us know when you're opening the window and we go from there.
Well,
Like,
but part of the reason that people are asking was because Kyle Shanahan himself said that like we should be opening it up soon or something like that. Like he
because Kyle just
and they
talks out of
keep
his ass.
but that's what I'm saying. Like people are going to hold him to that and continue to ask because he set himself up for that.
Okay, but here's my thing is that with that brings fans getting frustrated, and they ain't getting frustrated with the 49ers or with how the 49ers are handling the situation, or frustrated at Kyle for sitting up there and opening his fucking big ass mouth about Brandon Ayuk's window. Like, no, they're getting pissed off at Brandon Ayuk. Trade this motherfucker. He don't want to play. He got paid and just sitting his ass there. He don't want to be out there. Like, I feel like fans just think, like, are forgetting that like, they just think this was just a normal ACL tear and the guy should have already been out there by now. The
Right.
guy tore 3 fucking ligaments in his knee. Like the ACL, the MCL, and the meniscus. 3.
Mm-hmm.
Most athletes tear 1 and come back in a year or so. Like, and the position he plays, he's a wide receiver. He has to have speed. He has to be able to cut. He's one of the best route runners in the NFL. Like, you have to be able to do that shit. You have to be able to stop, start, cut, move, like in and out of breaks. Like, do we not think about any of that? Like, a typical time frame for those 3 injuries is fucking 12 to 18 months. We haven't even made it to the 13th month point. 12 to 18 months. But he's a piece of shit and doesn't want to be out there playing and got paid. And like, I just think like it's so much unnecessary hate that's being brought onto the
I
guy that's just trying
mean,
to fucking rehab. Like, you
but
don't think he wants to
that's
be out there?
that's 49er fans though. Ricky Pearsall was getting hate, for missing 6 weeks, right? It's like, and I mean, we do have to consider that a lot of the frustration and general feeling towards Brandon Ayuk came from the contract talks. A lot of people have not let that go because as soon as he got that deal, a few weeks later he got hurt. Not to say that it's Brandon Ayuk's fault he got hurt, right? Like he couldn't help that, but I mean, this is very like the way that fans think, right or wrong. I'm just saying this is how they think. Is like, what have you done for me lately? And
Yeah.
for 49er fans, they don't feel like Brandon Ayuk has done anything for them lately. A lot of them didn't think he even deserved to get paid what he was asking for and what he eventually got paid in the first place, right? To have been worth all of that drama. So, it's just the compounding feelings that people have towards Brandon Ayuk. And unfortunately, yes, you're right. People are gonna start hate. I mean, not even start. They've been hating on him. And for anyone who's speaking badly on him every single week that he's not out there, they were doing it long before this injury. You know what I mean? But also, I'll just continue to say it. It's also the 49ers have a huge hand in this, and they contribute
Yeah.
to Brandon Ayuk looking bad because they themselves put ridiculous. I don't want to say they gave a timeline because they really haven't given the timeline, but they have given us like a general idea.
Like, they keep putting out hope. Like, there's like a
Yeah,
hope
that's what I'm
floating.
saying.
Like,
They started off saying week 6, Kyle Shanahan did. Then it
which
moved
was
to week
stupid.
10. And then, we're in week 11 now, and his practice window still hasn't been open. So whose fault is that? And
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, it's either they're making stuff up, which I don't think they are, or like because Kyle's getting this from somewhere in the building, like whether it's the training staff, rehab staff, I don't know, whoever's responsible for telling Kyle the timelines, they have done a shit job. Like this year, it's been awful,
Yeah.
awful. Even
And not just with
beyond,
Brandon, like,
not just
it
with Brandon. So
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like something is so off in what they're communicating versus what these timelines actually end up being.
Mhm.
And so I think that's kind of the root. But yes, unfortunately, I mean, it is going to fall on the players looking badly and looking like they can't get healthy. What's wrong with this guy? So yeah, it's been awful, but I I don't
Cowling it.
yeah, I don't even get us started with Cowan, man. I mean, same thing. He was supposed to come back week 6. And then we didn't hear about him like ever again.
We don't
And
hear, like, they act like he's not even on the team, like,
yeah, people just stopped
that
asking about him. But one of
yeah.
the Nats, I think it was Barrows. I think it was Barrows who said that like anytime Cowing has like felt like he's somewhat close to getting back and he starts hitting Jacob Cowing's speeds, that he
He
re-aggravates
pulls the
that
hammy.
hamstring
Yeah.
again.
I think they said he had, like, 6 or some crazy amount of hamstrings since the beginning of the season,
His hamstring might be cooked. That
like,
might
how
be
the
a
hell is
Cowing
that?
issue. That might be a Cowing issue because he had hamstring issues. I want to say even in college, he definitely had injury issues in college. So
And then you're a speed
that's
guy,
a whole nother
like,
thing. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know if we ever see Cowling, honestly, like, I almost started to forget, like, he was even on the team for a while because, like, it's, like,
yeah.
literally nothing, like
No
like,
contribution.
I just
No
like, the
waiting for a
complete
contribution.
opposite of the Brandon Ayuk situation, like, they can't stop asking about him, and yet they forget Cowling's even on the fucking team, it's like, "What the hell's going on?" But yeah, like, chat obviously they feel the same way about the Brandon Ayuk situation. Like, yeah, like doctors even came out and told us that Brandon's Ayuk knee was like a grenade went off in there, and we're expecting the guy going to be out there like, and too. Like they keep releasing, and I don't know if this is the media. Like I didn't see like where these videos, but remember, like every so often, and we even talked about one of the videos, and you said by the look of that video, he ain't coming back anytime soon. And even the
Yeah,
fans, though, if you go back to that video and look at the comments, the fans are like, yes, BA's almost back. He's going to be back soon. And we're all excited. So, like, you're putting out, whoever's putting out these little clips, 5, 10 fucking second clips of Brandon Ayuk running down the freaking field, jogging. I won't even say running, jogging down the field, not cutting, not, jogging down the field and catching the ball. And it's making fans think that he's going to be back soon.
right.
And
Yeah, yeah. But it was the videos along with what things Kyle Shanahan was saying, along with things even John Lynch was saying. How many
yeah,
weeks for how long now, like months now, have they said he's getting closer? Like, and yes, like technically he's getting closer, but you hear that word and it gives you the sense your perception of close is like, I don't know, close
yeah.
like within weeks maybe,
Yeah,
which
like,
means
you're
you'd
opening the
maybe
window.
have exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So they're contributing to the problem by how they've been communicating about this. And I mean I'm glad, I guess, that John Lynch was asked about whether he would just miss the whole season, and maybe that helps clear things up a little bit, and maybe that makes them think twice about how they talk about Brandon Ayuk and him potentially coming back. I mean, they're in a tough spot because I don't know what else they're supposed to say either.
Yeah.
If you don't really have an update, maybe just say like
So
there
stop
isn't
fucking
really an update.
asking. I'll let you know when there's an update. Shit.
Oh my
Like,
god.
people get pissed off at the way Kyle answers sometimes, but man, I would be some of those questions and the people asking them, like, it's just so freaking annoying. It's just like I would be Like I would be like freaking Tomlin and the Steelers, like
Yeah.
fucking stupid question. Get up. He just walks out in the middle of the freaking shit. Like, um, yeah, this and that, even that, like them putting out that video, and yeah, like, oh, we think it's great. They're helping the community, whatever they're freaking doing, right? But like that brought so much unnecessary hate. Like if you go look at that video, it's like, oh, you couldn't write these jokes any better. Like the 49ers can't keep their wide receivers out on the field, so they have to get jobs at the fucking coffee
Yeah, I
place,
know. I
like
read that. I mean, it was just so typical. Like I didn't even have to open the comments, but
yeah, you knew what it
like
was gonna
I
say.
knew. I just knew it was
Like you're
those
setting these
poor
guys
guys.
up, and it's just like, oh my god. Like,
At least
hate.
Ricky is coming back this week though.
Yeah,
Cuz
but
otherwise,
Cowing, like he probably will be working there soon. Like go there in the off season, you'll see Jacob there.
oh man.
All right, Steph, let's talk about this game real quick in the last couple minutes here. Um, Talk to me. How you feeling? Obviously, no, we talked a lot about the little squirrel raccoon last time, and that mofo, I don't care what Cardinals are saying. Now that motherfucker got benched because
Might have, might have.
they were all talking about him coming back. Kyler was practicing all this shit, and now you got the backup going in there and playing way better than Kyler. Like
They're
Marvin
still
Harrison
losing
Jr. couldn't
though.
even,
They're still
yeah,
losing.
but still, Marvin Harrison Jr. couldn't even get a catch when Kyler was fucking playing, and now all of a sudden he had 2 games lights out with freaking his backup. Senior is putting out, like, went to the fucking team and told them like that I don't want my fucking son playing with that quarterback. That's probably why Kyler got benched. Like that's a fucking mess there. So they got no starting quarterback, which I mean, listen, Steph, we've lost to Arizona with the backup quarterback. I can't remember how many times.
Too many. Way too many.
No wide receivers. It's gonna be the what's his name? Trey McBride, is that his name? The Trey
Trey
McBride
McBride.
show. Like, because who else you got?
They got Michael Wilson, who, out of Stanford. I liked his game, but, he's not their wide receiver one. Um,
Or two.
but, all this, like, should not be a reason for the 49ers to think, oh, we got this. Like, you just can't go into this game thinking that it is going to be easy. And so, again, like, they need to come with the mindset that, we need to set the tone early and we need to do what we need to do. And even with the injuries at wide receiver, don't think that Trey McBride is not capable of having like a 200-yard, 20 target. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean? Like he could have that kind of day with guys missing and they'll just run the entire offense through him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that they can't get a run game going, even though they're missing 2 running backs and have been most of the season. Like, that's what I'm saying. The 49ers can't overlook the Cardinals just because every divisional game is going to be hard fought and, these teams know each other really well. So they can come out and surprise you. And you're also playing on the road. So, yeah, the 49ers need to be focused and continue on with a good game plan here.
Which I'm actually glad the 49ers are playing on the road this week because by the looks of it, California is getting a shit ton of rain, and that's the last thing we need is Brock Purdy coming back playing in the rain. Like, please, God, no.
Dude, if this week was a home game, they would have probably just waited another week.
That's so yeah. It ended up bothering them after Friday's practice. So, oh my God!
Thank God it's in Arizona.
And this is the first time, Steph, this season that our opponent's injury report has been longer than ours. Can you believe that?
Well, that's because we have so many guys on IR. It's like,
yeah,
who else could get hurt?
Our third string unit is actually healthy enough to not be on the injury report. So hey,
that's good.
And they said every guy that is active, is active on the team right now, did participate in practice in some form today. So hey, I take all the great positive health. Since we didn't talk about last week's game, after last week's game, us getting through the game with no injuries reported the next day, and now us making it through this entire week, like,
well, I don't know. Lenore got added to the to the injury report with the calf issue, but
Are you fucking kidding?
I don't know what that is.
This is now 2 weeks in a row that we can't even make it through practice. Like,
This team,
oh
man,
my good lord.
they never cease to amaze me. But he was limited, so it's not like it was a do not practice.
Well, we'll
That would have
see.
been more alarming.
We'll see how he feels tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like obviously you can't look at Arizona, lightly. Yeah, with all the injuries. Well, we have a shit ton of injuries and are playing like shit too. So, um, hey, um, and yeah, I mean, division game, like I said, we've lost to backups there before. So, and whoever said about the PSD, whatever from Colt McCoy, like, I'm there with you. Like, trust. Every time we play Arizona, and there's even a percent chance the backup will play, I'm like, no, please let the squirrel play instead. Like, come on. Like, not too many times are you begging for
Oh,
the starter to
goodness.
play instead of the backup? Um, but yeah, how you feeling? You think what's your score prediction, Steph? Give it to me.
I think the 49ers offense is gonna dominate. I think they go 31-19.
All right. We need them to dominate. Chat.
Indeed.
Score predictions. What you got? What you got? Oh shit, I put 31-19 for mine. Damn it.
You wish. You wish, because I'm gonna end
Copy.
up getting it right.
Let me wait for this mofo to put his score prediction in there first before I put mine. Yeah, but Arizona plays inside a dome, so we ain't got to worry about the rain there.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna go.
Or do they keep it open because they're like, we know Brock struggles in the rain?
Yeah,
That'd be so
imagine.
petty. That'd be so petty. Watch like Brock's like he has like 2 touchdowns in the first half and it's raining out. And they're like, we should like yeah. They're like, let's open the dome.
Look at Rob.
Oh my goodness.
The offense
Very
really
bullish.
coming to play. Holy shit.
Very
Brock
bullish for this
Purdy, he
offense.
could have the game of his fucking career. um, I'm going to go. I want and I hope the 49ers offense actually comes to play. But it's like, is Purdy going to have a rust? Is everybody gets a chance to work off rust except for Purdy, like.
Well, now that the run game is actually going, like they didn't have a run game in week 4. So there was really nothing to fall back on even then. So it
True.
wasn't even complimentary, and it was Brock, who, as we know, wasn't even 100%. Now, like you expect that Brock's close to 100% or just about at 100%. And you do have a run game now, so I think they could probably lean on that a little bit more, and so it doesn't need to all fall on Brock in this first game. Um, yeah, or like if he does have to pass, you make things kind of easy for him. We'll see though. We'll see.
I'm going to go 33-23 49ers.
Okay, it was kind of close to mine.
Kind of close, but it ain't the same stuff, okay? Don says 33-15 49ers.
I like that.
Sin says Arizona's better than the injured Niners. The healthy
Or is
Arizona
she
or
saying they're
this?
more injured?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Arizona more. Oh, Arizona's. I don't know. Sin, you got to spell shit out
Sin,
for us. Come on,
Sin,
we can't do this
translate.
greater than, less
Trans.
than. Like, I ain't in third grade, Sin. Come on. We need translation here. Um, I just Arizona's just such a scrub fucking team, and I just get so pissed when the 49ers go in there and let them fucking beat us. Like at least the Rams, the Seahawks, like if like you
Yeah, it's
lose to
like
them and
that
I
you
hate it
get.
because I hate them,
That's
but
what
at least they're good, like
that's what I mean. Like,
Arizona, it's just like you're losing to little fucking scrubs of the fucking division. Like,
yeah, it would be inexcusable, especially after last week. So,
agree. All right, Seth, what else you got going on?
tomorrow I got my preview show with KP and Desi. Definitely going to be asking Desi about what to expect from Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall in their first games back. So make sure you guys tune into that tomorrow. Steph49K on YouTube and all social media platforms.
Yep. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that good shit. And Steph and I are here every Thursday, 3 Pacific time, same place, same time. Chat, we appreciate you all. Thanks for being awesome, amazing that you guys always are. Nate just made it 35-25 Niners. Um, I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, awesome week. Stay safe. If you guys are traveling to the game, be safe. And yeah, we appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys next week. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.